What's going on, everybody? Back with another review today. Thank you as always for tuning in, liking, subscribing, commenting, checking out my videos. It is all very, very much appreciated. All right, today we have a rep versus retail of the Air Jordan 4 Red Thunder, aka Crimson. The retailer on the right and the reps are on the left. The reps are coming in from KICKWHO. This is their GODKILLER batch. So yeah, all in all, pretty solid fours. There's some slight things, but you know, really on foot, once they just get worn a little bit, there's not going to be any difference. But yeah, some minor things that could be improved. Really not a big deal to me. But let's jump into it. Take one away of each, get them close to each other. So the overall shape is really good. You can see size of the shoe is nearly identical. Toe box, nice and slim. It may be a little, I mean, it's nice and slim. The shape just might be a little bit different than retail. Looks a little slimmer, not huge, almost the same, but nonetheless a little higher. But the one thing on these that's been updated is the red. I think on sneakers they called it the Crimson, right? But everyone knows them as the Red Thunder. This was like a darker one on earlier reps. You can see it's the same now. Big update. And then the material before on other reps was kind of flat. You know, it is like a nubuck, but there is some texture to it. Big update on that too. Those two things alone make this, I'm gonna say probably one of the reps of these out. It was just flat and it just looked bad before. And then yeah, when the red is wrong, just big no for me. You want that, you know, the same color. You know, you're not always going to have it right next, well, you're not really ever going to have it next to a retail, or, you know, very limited amount of times. But I just want the colors to be correct. That's one thing that I'm kind of a stickler about. Going along, toe box cage. These have been updated on fours. This one's a little bit bigger. You can see the sizing could be a little smaller. On retails, they're just getting smaller and smaller, like every year. I think on like retros they were much bigger, so that could just be brought down a little bit. Black laces, lace locks look great. Size of the tongue is good. It could almost be a little bit smaller on the rep. It's not too bad. I haven't like unlaced this. This is the factory lacing, but they're almost, you know, they're pretty much the same. Could be brought down a touch. You can just see the distance between the top. Bring it down a hair, it'd be perfect. Flight looks good. Jumpman looks good, no complaints there. That's one thing people always look out for, because on early, like mid 2000s, the Jumpman arm is skinny, and some reps have it like that. That is correct if it's that year model, but now it's not like that anymore, which I like this better because that stick arm Jumpman just looked weird. Going to the side, lateral cuts look good. You can see there's a little more space on the retail over here, and it kind of goes up a little higher. That's splitting hairs though, not really gonna notice. Cage size is good. This shoe's just kind of like how they come laced, the shoe just kind of bends in a little more. I think if this was lace tighter, it'd look just like that, but nonetheless, the size is pretty good. It's a little more square, as you can see in some parts. It looks a little more round, like curved on the retail. How much it's showing behind the wings is like perfect. That's really good to see. They usually never get that right. Again, that red looks beautiful. That color, air bubble, nice and clean with that white hit on the inside. That color really pops in hand. When I first saw these, like before they released, I was like, I don't know. When you get these in hand, they are so clean. They're just really nice. Also, huge update. The tongue has been improved, so it's the current Air Jordan 4 tongue, and the color of the liner on the inside is identical. Before, again, it was like bright. It was like this, and it needed to be a little duller. It looks like it has a pink hue. It kind of does, like in hand too. It's kind of like that infrared Jordan 6 that came out in like 2014. How it was like infrared, but with a pink hue, almost like that. Air Jordan tag looks great. Another thing that's been updated is the overall size of the back tab, the Jordan size as well, and the height. I mean, that's pretty spot on in the back. I love to see that. You know, the suede or the nubuck's not too high, the Jumpman's not too small. A lot of times it was smaller, and like the space between his feet and the cuts was way too big. It is perfect now. Kudos to them. Small detail, but really pays off. Inside, cage looking good. Again, it could be a little more round, a little curved. Really, really nice shoes. So yeah, I mean, you know, all in all, I think this is a really good rep. You know, there's minor things, but you're kind of going to have that with almost every rep. You got to remember, you are not buying the real thing, so they're not going to be perfect. I think you got to just have a little, got to just keep that in mind. But anyways, KICKWHO God Killer batch looking pretty good to me. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.